After reading Mr. Shark's article, I kind of understood it a little bit more because now I've kind of come to understand Saylor as this like Wall Street cockroach. Do you know what I mean?
It's really not that hard. I could easily crank it out.
We'll get cranking.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. If you were someone who was closeted about being into Bitcoin and then you see someone like Michael Saylor come out and be like, here are all the financial instruments we can use to get even more Bitcoin and we're going to buy as much Bitcoin as possible.
We need an Ozempic that makes you fat. People are going to be like, Ozempic, we're too good. We're winning too much. We need the anti-Ozempic to make us fat again.
We need Ozempic that deposits fat only where we want it.
That's right.
That's the actual.
The titty Ozempic.
Yeah, the BBL Ozempic.
Mm-hmm. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Hell Money Podcast. My name is Travis Kelce, joined as always with your co-host, Taylor Swift, hot off her new album release. How did it go, Taylor?
It went really bad.
Really? Why?
Well, I mean, I'm sure numbers-wise it did well. She's probably the most famous artist right now. There's no way it could have really flopped.
Mm-hmm.
But the album is not good.
Okay.
It's not good. I'm curious. So we're pre-filming a little bit here. This episode will go out in like 2 weeks.
Why are we pre-filming?
Because I'm like going on a trip.
Okay.
And so we have to film our episodes for Halloween. Yeah, we're in costume because it's Halloween by the time you're watching this. Not really, actually. I think it's a week before Halloween. But according to our upload schedule, this is the Halloween episode. We have our Halloween Labubu. As featured in last episode, we are trailer. Travis and Taylor.
Mm-hmm, right. Yep. Trailer Swelfie.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, all right.
Swelsey. Yeah.
Yep.
Trailer Swelsey. Yeah, no, the album. So I'm curious where the discourse is at by the time this episode goes up because the album came out last week. It's not good. And I say that as maybe a green card holder in Swiftie Nation. Mm-hmm. Like I'm not a full citizen of Swiftie Nation. I think
you're on some sort of immigrant visa.
Yeah.
Temporary...
I mince my words here because I have a tentative immigration status, and I could be deported at any time. But no, I mean compared to her last couple albums, it's probably her worst album ever. I think. And it's mean. It's like just she's on top of the world, right? Like she's
on top of me.
That's gross. I guess you have a right to make that. That's actually what Travis Kelce would say because his IQ is like 90.
Feels good to take a break
to be the himbo.
IQ,
Yeah, I'm the high IQ on this episode.
Yeah.
No, I mean she made I think $2 billion off the Eras tour.
Okay.
Like a concert touring made like profit $2 billion.
That's crazy.
It's crazy, right? Like because she just is such a machine with like. She puts out so much merch. She always puts out like 10 different editions of every album, like on vinyl, so that you have to collect them all. Like she milks every last dollar possible. And she owns all the rights to her music. So she's making like the most amount of money possible.
Mm-hmm.
So you would think this would be the time to lean into your artistry. Mm-hmm. Like you have it all, right?
Yep.
But she can't. I think she's just addicted. I don't even think it's about money. I think she's addicted to attention. Mm-hmm. And so she doesn't know how to not be number one. She doesn't know how to let anyone else get any attention or anyone else have any time. She needs to always be dominating it. And so she just put out like a slop album. I mean, it sounds like an AI album. So everyone hates it, but no one can just say that they hate it. They have to say that it's evil. So now Taylor Swift is a white supremacist.
Yeah. You can't just like and dislike things these days.
No, you have to have a political, everything's political. So now they're saying that Taylor Swift is a white supremacist because she has a song about Travis Kelce about how she wants to live with him in a neighborhood where everyone looks like him.
Okay.
Which is
a little on the nose.
It is a little on the nose. I think so too. But I think what she meant is like, oh, I want to reproduce a lot. Like I want to have I want the whole block looking like you. Like we're going to have a bunch of kids. But there's another reading of it, which is we need to live in a white neighborhood.
Yeah, right.
There's also another song where she kind of like shades his exes. He famously dated only black girls before Taylor. And he also changed his voice up. Like he used to have like a little black accent. Now he doesn't have that anymore. Now with Taylor. So I don't know. Whatever. These narratives exist. But I think this is now people's reason for why it's a bad album. But now the backlash is going like they went too hard on her. So now everyone's being like, you guys are anti-feminist. Why can't a girl boss just win? So I'm not sure where the discourse will be by the time that this album comes out. But if you need my take, which I'm sure you do, and I'm sure everyone's already clicked off the episode because we haven't even said what we're talking about. We're just talking about Taylor Swift.
Yeah, we're just talking about Taylor Swift this episode. You could just go watch something else.
Yeah. Or you can learn. I mean, if you have any women in your life, maybe you don't. I don't know. If you do, maybe this is helpful background information you can use to impress them. But I think it really just is that Taylor is addicted to attention and selfish, and she can't let go. And I think she needs to be locked away in a cabin for a couple years, and then she'll write her best work of her life.
Okay.
That's what I think.
I'm hoping for a Kanye-like bipolar schizophrenic break arc for Taylor Swift.
She already had that though, with like that was kind of when the whole Beyonce had the best music video of all time, like Kanye Taylor moment, which I was on Kanye's side.
But I mean,
then.
She hasn't had her like Heil Hitler video moment, Like that's what I'm talking. She's got to make a Heil Hitler.
Well, many people would say this is her Heil Hitler.
No. She's got to go further,
Yeah, I mean, she doesn't know how to. Like whenever she had that whole situation with Kanye, and then it was kind of exposed that she was actually the one being a freak. I mean, it's all this backstory and lore, but it was kind of exposed that Kanye was the good guy in that situation from my perspective. Not now, there's been too much that's happened, but at the time. And she wrote an album called Reputation that kind of has she worked with the same producers on this album, where she basically was like, ooh, I'm a bad girl. I'm kind of evil, aren't I? Look what you made me do. I'm evil. And it's like probably her second worst album after this one. She loves being the victim. That's her whole shtick. And I
feel like the victim right here.
You
talk about Taylor Swift.
I'm sorry. I mean, but we are. I spent however much time on this and doing all the TikToks with it and everything. So Taylor's on my mind.
Yep.
I would have liked to hear a song on the album where she's like reflecting on like, I thought love had to be painful. Can it really be this easy? Like that would be a nice reflective song. But instead we got a song called Wood that's just dick jokes the whole time, like euphemisms for like, oh, he's so hung. Like, really, Taylor? Yeah. We're gonna be bopping to that.
I did think she was better than that.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. She's better than this. And if you're a real Swiftie, she's better than this. So please don't revoke my green card, Taylor Nation. I'd still like to
I don't
be
even
able
think you
to...
have a green card. I think you're one of those Dubai slaves where your like master is holding your passport and you can't get it back, and all you want to do is see your family in Nepal.
Yeah, I have to stream Taylor's albums a certain number of times every day.
Yeah.
So that's the Taylor backstory. But really today what we're supposedly talking about is Bitcoin Treasury companies.
Bitcoin Treasury companies and strategies.
Which
strategy is now the meta. The meta is strategies. I really like it because it's very it's like we've really run out of ideas. We did DeFi, we did NFTs, we did meme coins, we did tokens, we did ICOs, we did like alt shit coins. And now it's just we're doing financial engineering. It's like the meta is financial engineering.
Yeah, men are building financial instruments.
Which, as far as I can tell, it's basically like it's very like there's nothing there. It's just like buying tokens. It's like tokens that get you some stake in some other token. Like if you zoom out, all the strategies are like that. It's like, well, there's this thing that we think is valuable, be it Bitcoin or punks or puppets or whatever. And so maybe we can cook up some other token that's thematically, tangentially related to this underlying asset. And then, oh no, you shouldn't buy the underlying asset. You should buy the strategy token, which is pretty baffling to me. Like, I don't even understand the other metas. Like, I kind of understand how they like got legs and started to run. Like, you can think like, okay, we're going to do DeFi on the blockchain. Like, that's going to be revolutionary because like finance, that's like an actual activity. You know what I mean? People getting loans for things, investment, blah, blah, blah. This is like, no, there's nothing there. There's transparently nothing there, but it has wings.
Well, I think the people who are really into Bitcoin treasury companies, the ones who are real like Bitcoin people that are into Bitcoin treasury companies, I think the argument they would probably make to someone like us would be that it all helps number go up. You get all these companies buying Bitcoin, throwing all of their locked away stock market wealth, whether that's like the people who are buying the stock or the companies themselves are buying Bitcoin, and that because Bitcoin is a scarce asset makes number go up.
Yep.
And then you kind of apply that to when you have all these other like punk strategy things. It's the same thing, right? It's like we need number to go up.
Right.
So this is a strategy to make number go up. To fabricate demand.
Yeah.
Basically.
So this all started with Michael Saylor and MicroStrategy.
Yeah.
Now Strategy.
Yeah, and we read ZK Shark's article about this that I think he posted on Substack in August, which is kind of just the Michael Saylor story. It was helpful for me to review it because I kind of entered Bitcoin similar time to Michael Saylor, but Michael Saylor was not my in to Bitcoin.
Right.
So I never understood the people who really are like worshiping at the altar of Saylor. I never understood it because I kind of was like, okay, yeah, I mean, it's cool if someone with a lot of money buys Bitcoin and is really into it, right? Like if any billionaire or wealthy person, if Elon Musk or whoever was like, oh, Bitcoin is a great asset, I'm going to buy it. I'd be like, oh, cool. I'm glad that they get it. Like, I think they were smart. Or, it would give me a more positive opinion of them. So I kind of understand why people would be like, oh, Michael Saylor is this guy who has a real company and he's been around for so long and he likes Bitcoin. So that's great. But it's not like he understands what Bitcoin is. And it didn't really ever seem to me like he was doing much besides just buying huge quantities of it. So I never understood like the inspiration. But after reading Mr. Shark's article, I kind of understood it a little bit more because now I've kind of come to understand Saylor as this like Wall Street cockroach. Do you know what I mean? Where it's like he survived the .com boom and bust, and he used the financial instruments available to him to keep MicroStrategy afloat. And so if you're like a stock market guy, I can kind of understand how if you were someone who was closeted about being into Bitcoin, and then you see someone like Michael Saylor come out and be like, here are all the financial instruments we can use to get even more Bitcoin, and we're going to buy as much Bitcoin as possible. Like, you think that's cool as a stock market guy. I'm not a stock market guy, so that was never appealing to me. But now I kind of understand, like, okay, that's the type of person that was probably into Saylor, where these like 401k investors, these people who are like, I'm going to, financial independence, retire early. Like, I love being a part of the stock market. How do I get more Bitcoin within that?
I also think it's people who want some sort of leverage on top of Bitcoin. Right?
Everyone does, yeah.
Everyone does, right? People who are into Bitcoin, they are like, I don't just want to buy Bitcoin because even though it goes up at a crazy rate, I want some like leverage on top of it. And so along comes Michael Saylor that's going to do all this like complicated financial engineering on top of Bitcoin, going to acquire Bitcoin, various like notes and stock issuances to buy more Bitcoin. And I think also part of what made Saylor successful is that he was early, right? Like it was a underrated play, nobody doing it. It started before the Bitcoin ETF came out, which meant that it was hard to get exposure to Bitcoin through your normal,
stock market account.
Account. And so that explains a lot of its success. And so it's confusing to see people come afterwards thinking that they can replicate that success when in fact a large part of it had to do with being early.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, now we're seeing it spin out everywhere. And that also kind of makes me understand Metaplanet more, which was sort of, I mean, I guess Metaplanet was kind of the first of this current cycle. I mean, Strategy was the first, but like
Metaplanet is weird because as I understand it, equities and Bitcoin have different tax treatment in Japan.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah. Is that like, there's kind of there was sort of locked away liquidity that couldn't access Bitcoin as easily in the Japanese market. And that's just because you get taxed heavily on
capital gains
on raw Bitcoin, but you get taxed much less on stock market trades.
Right. Which is like another thing that I don't think people can necessarily replicate.
Right? Yeah, right. Like, there's no, if that's not the case in the country that your Bitcoin Treasury company is registered in the stock market of, then it doesn't apply as much, right?
Yep.
But we don't have any unique ideas. We just spin up the same idea over and over and over again and convince ourselves that because we're early to this one, this is going to be the one. You know? Because I don't know. I mean, I haven't checked the Strategy stock. Actually, I don't know where it's at right now, but like maybe it's too late, or is Strategy going to keep going up?
You mean Michael Saylor Strategy?
Yes.
I have no idea. Honestly, I have no idea. I suspect it's kind of too late.
Because that's the thing is like, if I was interested in this kind of stuff, why, like, it's hard for me to imagine why I would buy anything but Strategy, right? Why would I buy any other?
There's definitely like a first mover advantage, and like a, just being huge advantage. It's like people are trying to buy Litecoin right now. It's like that, not that they're trying to buy Litecoin, but the other things are like Litecoin. It's like, hey, like Nakamoto is silver to MicroStrategy's gold.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I've had a lot more maybe spiritual and metaphysical conclusions about this thing, which is like, I mean, first of all, greed's a sin. I've said this before. I'll say it many times. Greed is a sin. Why is it a sin? Because it eats everything else in your life, you know? And so it's like, it's not enough to have
at some point
2x.
You're so desperate for subs, you're dressing up like Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce.
We were doing this before the subs. Yeah, but I mean, it is like, it's just Bitcoin gains are not enough for people. You know, like they can learn the orange pilling Bitcoin thesis once, but you have to learn it every time. That's what I think I'm realizing with people is like, they think that just because they've crossed one threshold that now every idea they have is genius and everything that they think must be anti-fiat, but it's not true, right? Like you can be shitcoining on Bitcoin. We do it all the time. You know, actually, happy 1 year anniversary of Memento Mori.
Yeah, happy 1 year anniversary of Memento Mori. How are our bag holders doing?
Yeah, probably the same as the bag holders of most of these Bitcoin treasury companies. So, yeah, I mean, it's just shitcoining on the stock market, which I guess, like, there's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing that's like morally evil about it. It's just not, it's not Bitcoin.
It's not Bitcoin, and it just doesn't make any sense these days. Like, listen, you can go to many, many venues and buy Bitcoin, or you can buy Bitcoin in your stock account via an ETF. Seems risky to layer on a bunch of like weird debt on top of it. I guess, I mean, I think the basic premise of these companies is that, look, if they can borrow at like X%, like 5% or something, Bitcoin only has to go up by 5% a year for that to be a good trade. And like, will it go up by 5% a year?
The thing is, and I mean, maybe this is where I differ from people, is I would trust myself to manage that sort of leverage. I don't like borrow against my Bitcoin to acquire more Bitcoin or whatever. But if that was something that I wanted to do, I would trust myself to do it. Why would I trust some random company to do it?
Well, I mean, the reason is that they can get better rates than you can.
Yeah, they have access to the financial instruments.
They can lever up more.
Yeah. I mean, this is the thing. It's all about getting closer to the printer.
Yep.
It's all about like financial instruments for me, but no financial instruments for thee.
Yep.
Which, again, it's not, I don't know. I do think people worship at the altar of financial instruments a little too much. Like the bubble will pop, you know? I don't think the bubble's going to pop on Bitcoin. I think there's sound fundamentals underlying it. The bubble will absolutely pop on the Bitcoin treasury companies. You might be able to ride that up and like sell and make money, but it's like the same thing as dog with hat, you know, or a Trump coin.
Yeah.
Like it's the same underlying fundamentals.
Yeah.
But I mean, but it is different in the sense that these companies, and I mean, many of these Bitcoin treasury companies are nearly bankrupt, failing companies that need a pivot in order to survive. And so now they're like, oh, we're doing Bitcoin now.
I want to see Nakamoto / Kindly ND pivot back to being a medical company. Like they're like, this Bitcoin treasury shit, it didn't work. And somehow maybe get some kind of patent on some pharmaceutical, you know?
Right. They can make the new Ozempic.
Yeah.
And then they can...
We need an Ozempic that makes you fat. People are going to be like, Ozempic, it worked too good. We're winning too much. We need the anti-Ozempic to make us fat again.
We need Ozempic that deposits fat only where we want it.
That's right.
That's the actual...
The titty Ozempic.
Yeah, the BBL Ozempic. Because then you could just inject it, like wherever you do the Ozempic jab, that's where the fat would deposit. So kindly MD,
sure
maybe get on that. Nakamoto, maybe get on that.
And so then we have these like derivative strategies, which, as I said, like they're very strange. It's like you have some asset. Let's create an asset which is like tangentially or thematically related to that asset. I believe the first of these was punk strategy. Punk strategy was very confusing to me why this would ever be a good idea. But they issued a punk STR token, a punk strategy
on
token.
ETH?
On ETH, yeah. And the punk strategy token takes, every time you trade punk strategy, you get 10% of the trade goes into this like treasury. Minus like a 3% rake that they just take. They just take 3% like off the top. That's
good for them.
Good for them. Yeah. And then the ETH from this goes into the treasury, the punk strategy treasury. And when there's enough ETH, they buy a floor punk, which they immediately relist at 1.2x the price that they bought it for. And then if that punk gets purchased from the punk strategy treasury, they buy and burn the punk STR token. So I guess this is a way of sort of making a weird, like pseudo synthetic punk token that's like related to the punks in some way. But like none of this makes any sense. Like, why is it 10%? 3% gets taken off the top. Why does it get listed at 1.2x? You could just be left high and dry if at some point the like punks, if the floor price of punks just drops enough, the punk strategy vehicle is holding on to these punks that they've listed at like a higher price that like nobody's going to buy. And then it's just kind of like over.
But the financial instruments make it so that the number can only go up.
Unfortunately, not. We have not really reached that level of financial engineering. And
we're getting close. I think we're trying really hard.
We're really Icarusing it. And now there's all these other strategies. There's node strategy, which is for node monks, and pizza strategy, which is for pizza ninjas.
They did a puppet strategy, but those guys said they were like,
they just gave up. Yeah.
They were like, I don't think I can do this.
I really think it's funny. One of the funniest things I've seen related to this is all these people being like, don't FUD it. Like, don't FUD it. You've got to give this a chance. Like, don't FUD it.
Yeah.
Like, don't copycat it. And like, what are you talking about? FUDing and copycatting is like core values of this ecosystem. Okay. Either you're copying something because you think it's going to work, or you're FUDing it because you think it's not going to work, or you're FUDing it because you want to copy it and you want your copy to be successful. So the idea that you've got this like, you know, precious little like punk strategy, pizza strategy, like child, and you're like, guys, don't FUD it. You can't FUD it, right? It's got to bloom into some beautiful fucking thing. That's never going to work. Come on.
Well, why do we FUD it?
We need content.
We need content. We FUD for content.
We FUD for content. That's right.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. We have no, we have no sponsors on this podcast. We have no bags to be seen.
The only sponsors are the viewers.
Yeah.
You're
we're FUDing for you guys.
Like, subscribe,
they're like,
pay us $12 a month on Twitter. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. It's like, sometimes I wonder, I mean, just like I said on the other episode when we did the Bitcoin meta protocols and L2 episode, that there's no user, right? Like the product market fit is just VC dev fit. People want to tinker and people want to invest in blockchain technology. And those two groups come together to create a hype cycle that has 0 users.
Yep.
It's it feels almost similar when we do these Hell Money episodes where I don't know that there are listeners who want to hear us tell them that none of this shit is real. Like there are plenty of listeners that would love for you to say, oh, this is so
real.
great.
This is real.
This time it's it, guys. Get in.
Work.
We're going to the moon. We're all going to make it.
Yeah.
You know?
I think people have given up on me saying anything like that. People have been waiting for me to be like, Casey, when are you going to pump our bags? And it just hasn't happened.
Yeah. Yeah, we're a FUD podcast.
Yep.
We FUD for content.
Yeah.
But what are we supposed to do? Like, there's nothing. I mean, like, it's nothing to praise.
What is there to praise? I mean, Bitcoin's going up, all-time highs.
Yeah, we're at all-time highs, and it couldn't feel worse.
It couldn't feel worse. It feels terrible.
Like, when is it going to feel good again?
We haven't really gotten to like a real all-time high. Like what? 5K above the all-time high is an all-time high? No, we need to hit 150K Bitcoin. Then I'll feel like it's an all-time high, and I won't feel bad when we backslide like 3K.
Do you feel bad when we're at like 122?
I feel terrible when 122. I'm like, it's never been more over. Maybe it's time for me to sell all my Bitcoin.
Right, yeah, Bitcoin's over. Time to run knots. Yeah, I mean, I think like we sort of straddle two worlds where on the one hand, the knots people hate us because we're not Nazis.
Yep.
And then the
Bitcoin people also hate us. The normal Bitcoin people, like the non-Nazis.
I don't know if they hate us.
They just never think about us.
They don't think about us.
Yeah.
And then the like crypto degen people who got back into Bitcoin because of Ordinals, they also hate us because we're not shilling their bags. So we really can't win. So if there's anyone out there who agrees, I guess like, comment, subscribe, let us know. But I don't know. It's a very it's dark times. I mean, Taylor Swift put out the worst album she's ever put out. You know, she's been in the game for 20 years.
Yep.
So I think vibes are pretty bad. No one has any original ideas. The men are not going to war. They're not even building hardware. They're inventing financial instruments and convincing themselves that they've come up with something genius. But I mean, this is like, you know, I mean, we always have these conversations.
We need to have like a Ukraine war strategy token.
It's kind of like what Polymarket is.
Like Ukraine strategy. I think that has legs.
So what would be the Ukraine strategy? You trade this token.
And then you buy drones for Ukraine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of how the military industrial complex works.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, you're just sort of formalizing it, I guess.
Yeah.
But I mean, Polymarket is kind of like, if you want to actually pay attention to stuff happening and then bet on it, that is an actual use case for, I mean, it wouldn't have to be crypto. It could be anything.
Yep.
I mean, ZK kind of makes the point in the article about Saylor that the only reason why these things exist is just because there were tight regulations in the US markets. And now there's kind of this like hunger for access to degenning. And so everyone is just gorging themselves on degenning. Greed. What's the other one? What's the hunger one? The like you overdo it, you eat too much.
And you kind of feel a little nauseous.
No. The sin.
Gluttony.
It's greed and gluttony. It's greed and gluttony everywhere. What are the other? We got wrath.
Greed, gluttony, wrath.
Okay.
Sloth.
I don't know if people are really being slothful.
No, they are. They don't want to like actually build anything.
But what would they build?
I don't know. They need to get off their asses. They need to be less slothful.
That's how I feel about you.
Yeah.
Yeah. One galleries.
Yeah, one galleries.
Yeah, so you're sloth.
I'm a sloth, yeah.
Wrath, I mean, people are definitely angry on Twitter.
Yeah.
So there's
wrathful?
Wrath is not.
Because it rhymes.
No, Wrath is not wrathful. He's pretty peaceful in general, I would say. And then lust. Not very much lust on the timeline.
Not really. We don't have enough women to actually have lust.
That's true. Isn't there another one? Oh, envy.
Envy. Everybody's envious.
Yeah, I mean, that's the other thing. Everyone thinks that everyone's making more money than they are. And so that's what makes them given to being like, I'm going to go all in on micro strategy. So yeah, everyone's sinning all over the place. And maybe we all need to convert to sedevacantism.
Yeah.
You know, and repent. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I feel like we had more takes about Bitcoin treasury companies, but maybe you're right. We don't even have a full episode's worth of takes.
No, we don't have a full episode.
I mean, I guess my prediction is just like, I think they're already in a death spiral. I would say strategy is excluded because strategy is its own thing. It was the first. Saylor's going to keep going on the podcast and keep doing his bit for quite a long time. I don't think anyone has a hype man like Saylor.
No.
But that's what you're competing with is you need to have Saylor's Wall Street cockroach financial instrument expertise. And you also need to have his commitment to going on any podcast that will have him to repeat the same talking points.
Would he go on this podcast?
Why not?
I don't think he would.
You don't think so?
No.
I think if you asked him nicely, he would.
No, I think he doesn't like. I think it's politically dangerous from him. He doesn't want to turn the Nazis against him.
But I think maybe he could frame it like he's arguing with you.
Maybe.
You know?
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah.
We've never asked, but maybe we should. We should get him on to talk about MicroStrategy and do the same talking points over and over again. But like, you know, it's like you're not going to be able to beat that level of marketing and financial instrument expertise. You just can't. And so I think buy strategy or nothing else. But I mean, really, I feel like we're in a death spiral for a lot of these treasury companies where they're taking on weird trade-offs in order to acquire more Bitcoin. But they also are companies that presumably have some level of bureaucratic overhead, right? They have employees they need to pay. They have like administrators and C-suite employees who are expecting a certain outcome. And if those outcomes aren't going to be delivered on, then I think it's just like a race to the bottom for all of them. And I don't know, I think we're already in it, you know, and maybe that makes us kind of lame to be coming at it, like hitting them when they're down. But I don't think they're going back up.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I mean, I think we've sort of exhausted this topic.
We've exhausted this topic.
Fun BIP recently. Fun set of draft BIPs. Rusty Russell's great script restoration BIPs.
I remember hearing about this, but I don't remember what it is. Yeah,
so basically, way back in the day, in like some very early change to Bitcoin that Satoshi made, that I think was actually the PR was called, or the commit was called MISC changes. He disabled a whole bunch of opcodes within Bitcoin, including useful opcodes like op add, op divide, all these other opcodes. Rusty Russell recently came out with, I believe, 3 draft BIPs called the Great Script Restoration, which proposes to re-enable these BIPs, including some expensive opcodes, or re-enable these opcodes, including some expensive opcodes, and in order to avoid being able to construct very expensive scripts that take a long time to validate, there is something called VAROps that he introduces, which is a sort of you get a budget of VAROps that a transaction can spend, and then the different opcodes within that transaction consume VAROps in proportion to how expensive they are.
Okay. I don't really follow.
So like, let's say you've got op roll. Okay. in Bitcoin, you have a stack. Usually you like pop Bitcoin script, you've got a stack, you pop values onto the stack, you add them, you multiply, you check scripts on them, etc. If you're op roll, it rolls the entire stack. It takes like one element or some number of elements and puts it onto the bottom. And then then you get the new top elements that were under those elements that were rolled off of the stack. So that operation, op roll, it costs resources in proportion to the size of the stack. So if you've got a big stack, it takes more to rearrange all of it than if you have a small stack. So the op roll opcode consumes var ops in proportion to the size of the stack.
Okay.
And so this would enable re-enabling all of these opcodes with different var ops budgets. And he also proposes a optx hash opcode, which is sort of like a sort of improved version of opctv, including and also another couple of opcodes.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, this is interesting. It strikes me that I'm not sure what uses he has in mind for these opcodes. Maybe we should ask him and see what he says.
Have him on the podcast. We haven't had a guest in a while.
We have not.
There's no one to talk to.
No one to talk to.
No one's doing anything.
No.
That was I mean, you didn't even have that prepared.
I just wanted to mention that.
I feel like I had heard of the Great Script Restoration before that, though.
He's been talking about it for a while.
Okay, so now it's just more like formalized.
It's formalized.
This is the plan.
It's gone from ideation to draft BIPs in various states.
Okay,
so
Rusty, is that his name?
Mm-hmm.
Rusty's doing something.
Yeah, Rusty's doing something.
Rusty is not committing one of the 7 deadly sins that we know of.
Yep. Let's see what else. Possibly the end of 4 meggers.
Oh yeah, this is drama.
I mean, it's
not really.
It's not really drama. I'm really trying to squeeze the cheese here, get any last drops of whey that I can out of it. Right. So large transactions make it harder to construct optimal blocks. Normally, you use a very simple process where you just sort of sort transactions by their fee rate and just accept transactions until you hit the block weight limit.
Mm-hmm.
But if you have very large transactions, this becomes harder because instead of just being able to get close to being optimal by selecting transactions by fee rate, you then have to sort of consider all possible combinations of transactions. Because if you select some transactions, but then there's a very large transaction that you then can't fit into the end of the block, you then have to reconsider some transactions that you had previously selected in the block. And it becomes not just like go through this list of transactions and then like pick transactions that you run out of space. It's like consider, in the worst case, all possible combinations of transactions to get the block that pays the most fees.
Yeah, I mean, if you imagine the mempool.space visualizer with that kind of looks like Tetris, but everything's square.
Yeah.
If you have a giant square come in and then you're trying to Tetris everything around it, it becomes harder to construct an optimal block that is ideally the Tetris thing is completely filled, right?
That's right, yeah.
So this would be a proposal to make it so that you can't have the big Tetris blocks.
That's right. And the reason we would want to
not just within policy, but within the actual consensus.
That's right. And the reason is that presumably large miners could afford to have expensive, fast computers that are always crunching the optimal next block and spend, a substantial amount of resources and compute and everything to do that and get an advantage in the amount of fees that they would collect over a longer period of time over small miners who couldn't afford to do that block template optimization.
Right. So who I hadn't even seen this until you mentioned it.
This has sort of been like a little like sub, conscious rumbling for a while among various sort of Bitcoin wizards. I just mention it because I saw some talk on Twitter. And so the fix for this, currently there is a 400 kiloweight unit limit for transactions, which transactions can be standard. So this is a policy limit, not a consensus limit. They can still get it into a block. But the idea would be to make this a consensus limit and not a policy limit.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of get it. Feels a little like whatever. Is this a big problem or is this an imagined problem? But I guess that's kind of the entirety of Bitcoin development right now is like we imagine this world where Bitcoin is heavily adopted and there are all these problems and we try to fix them ahead of time.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's
like, do we really have so much that we're trying to stuff in the blocks that's not getting stuffed in the blocks? Didn't we just have -1 sat per vbyte summer?
right. True. I mean, I think it's
the miners pay you to put the transaction in the block.
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple things. I mean, I think this is one source of non-standard transactions. This is a source of private transaction submissions to miners. I searched, there are only 150 inscriptions that are over this limit, so it's not a huge problem. But
Are inscriptions the only thing that this would?
Pretty much, but it is also a good idea to think about the future. And this is the kind of thing where making this a consensus limit is easier the less use there is. But if suddenly there's a lot of demand for transactions that are over this limit, you might run into a situation where it becomes like politically impossible to do this at some point in the future. So things that people are looking at are things like BitVM. In some cases, BitVM can rely on needing to get very large transactions into the chain. So if BitVM were to become popular, that could be an additional source of over large transactions.
I see, like there could be a demand for this in the future.
Yeah, and at which point tightening this restriction and making it a consensus restriction could become more difficult in the future. So this is something that I'm kind of in favor of. I don't think inscription people don't really care about huge inscriptions.
Yeah, I mean, if there are only ever going to be a certain number of 4-meggers that ever exist, fixed supply,
That's right.
It's a good time to have a 4-megger then.
Absolutely.
And
there would be like an orgy of 4-meggers leading up to this. People would be cramming 4-meggers into blocks.
Right.
So I think it'd be kind of fun. So I'm in favor of it.
I mean, it just is hard for me. Maybe it's not so controversial. I was going to say it's hard for me to imagine anything happening in Bitcoin right now that isn't. But it seems like maybe there wouldn't be that many people who would be against it, really.
Yeah, I think it's pretty reasonable. I also think the Knots people would
they'd be happy, right? Like sort of marginally happy, but I don't know that they even. I guess my point is like, doesn't seem like anyone would be overly happy. It just is like people would be not that mad.
I think it's a good chance to exercise our soft forking muscles.
Oh, okay. So it would be a soft fork.
Yeah, it'd be a soft fork. Yeah.
Yeah, I think exercising the soft fork muscle is important. I mean, we can't ossify right now, but we're heading.
We're de facto ossified at the moment.
Yeah.
Like there's just no motivation for anything.
We got to fix the clock, right? Isn't there something about the clock runs out?
Like 21:38 or something that becomes a problem.
Sure. Yeah. But that's similar logic. It's like, well, if we might in the future have all these big transactions, we got to do something now. So put in the clock thing. Then I'll be in favor. If they put in the clock thing, I'm down for it.
Yep.
This is how a bill gets passed.
Yep.
You scratch my back, I scratch yours.
And then we put in, a $12 million rider for funding for the perverted arts on top of it.
Right.
What else do we have? What else do we got?
We have one maybe original idea we could talk about.
Seasonal runes.
This was your idea.
Yeah, this was my idea. Like,
we need feedback on this.
Yeah, we need feedback on this. Okay, so the idea is that anybody could they could etch a proposal for a seasonal rune.
Well, they'd etch the rune.
Yeah. And seasonal runes, candidate seasonal runes, they must have no pre-mine. Right? 0 pre-mine. And they must have an open mint. And the open mint must start at least, let's say, 2 months into the future.
Yeah. Or like at the, we could pick a specific block height.
It must
that would be the beginning of the season.
Exactly. It must happen on a specific block height. And that block height, the next season must be like two months into the future. And then we spend a month talking about deliberating on what is the best of these seasonal runes. And I guess I would, as the benevolent dictator of runes, I would endorse a single seasonal rune. So every 3 months worth of blocks, we would have a seasonal rune, a seasonal fair launch rune, and everybody would get to like degen out in shitcoin. And then 1 month after the seasonal rune launched, people would, in that month, they could etch new candidate seasonal runes.
Yeah,
and then there would be a 1 month deliberative period.
Right.
And then there would be the 1 month like pre-hype period as we all tried to like hype up the next seasonal rune.
Right.
And then it launches.
Right. And then it goes to 0 and then you start over
That's
again.
right. Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, I guess we're exploring this idea, but basically you would have to I mean, the rune would be picked on whatever your meme ability
Yeah,
is.
it'd basically be entirely
but
based
it has
on
to
meme
it has to be no pre-mine.
No pre-mine.
It needs to start at whatever the block height would be the seasonal beginning.
And it must be etched before the deliberative period begins so that we can have it as a candidate.
So we can have a fair sort of debate and discussion. I think it's a good idea. I think someone could be you. Someone needs to build some sort of candidate explorer.
Yeah, I guess we'd add it to Ord for the candidate seasonal runes.
Yeah, I guess if you want to add that to Ord.
It's pretty easy. It's not that hard. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, basically you would want ordinals.com/seasonal rune. And then it would show you all of the runes that fit the qualification.
Mm-hmm.
But, you can say whatever, like anything would be listed that fits the qualification that has the 0 pre-mine and starts on whatever block height is the beginning of the season.
Yep.
And then I guess we'd probably want to do it in blocks, not necessarily a month, but whatever a month's worth of block is approximately.
It would be a halving's worth of blocks divided by 16.
Okay.
That is the Bitcoin season.
2016 divided by 16.
More than 2016.
Oh, sorry. That's 2016 is a difficulty adjustment.
Yeah. It's a lot.
Guys.
It's like 240 something thousand maybe.
Yeah, 240,000 sounds right. Yeah, because 840 was the fourth halving.
Yep. Whatever. Don't check us.
Just don't check the math.
Yeah. So what do you guys think about this idea for seasonal runes? It'd give us like something to do.
It's content farming.
We could have an episode for each seasonal rune.
Right.
Which would be great.
We'd have costumes for every season.
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
We'd have a winter season rune, a spring rune.
They would sort of I haven't checked how much they align with the seasons. It would sort of drift a little bit depending on how fast blocks.
Well, the halving was 420,
mm-hmm.
which was not exactly the start of spring. The start of spring was like a month before that, but it's not that off.
Yeah.
Although 420, that feels like the beginning of the summer, don't you think?
Mm-hmm.
That would be kind of like the summer rune.
Yeah.
So then the spring rune would be before.
Yeah.
So yeah, let us know. Let us know. I mean, I think it's a good idea. I think it's fun. It gives people something to do.
Mm-hmm.
Gives people something to talk about where they can be like, I like my meme. No, I like my meme.
Yeah, that's right.
And then in theory, you could have the benevolent dictator pick one, but then the community could decide no.
It's true.
Like there's nowhere that you would be then in Ord putting this is the seasonal rune.
I might.
What?
I might.
And you would just decide.
Yeah, just decide. Yeah.
You and Luke,
yeah.
Man. You're like, I don't want to have to be the one to save Bitcoin, but if it's got to be me.
Yeah, who knew? Like Bitcoin, apparently Luke has been saving Bitcoin all along.
Right. So, okay, so 420 was the halving. Then the first seasonal rune could start like, I guess it'd be kind of now. So maybe we can't do it now. It would have to be like January-ish.
Yeah. There would be like a long deliberative period for the first seasonal rune.
Okay. So yeah, you'd have to get working on the page. You'd have to make sure, like, let us know, should there be other qualifications too?
What other qualifications would there be?
Turbo on.
What's that?
Turbo flag has to be true.
No, I think that's optional. Leave that up to the community.
Okay. But that feels like an obvious...
You can also have funny seasonal runes where there's only one.
What do you mean?
Like limit one. Like you can only mint one.
Yeah. Oh,
like you get like
right,
like one individual holds qualities. The entire supply of the seasonal rune. Yeah.
The qualities of the seasonal rune could be funny.
Right.
You could have a rune that only has a supply one.
Mm-hmm.
I like that idea. I don't know that you should do that for the first one.
No.
But it's a good idea.
Yeah. In the future when, I need to shake things up.
Would you etch a seasonal rune? Like throw your hat in the ring?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Okay. Well,
I also feel like
that is an original idea.
I also feel like if other people if you can come onto a video call with us wearing a costume about the seasonal rune,
right,
to sort of make your case that should be the seasonal rune,
that
would, I think, strengthen the case of that particular seasonal rune.
Yeah, I mean, for me, and I have my soft power Benny Gesserit influence here over the selection of the seasonal rune. I would want something that is good costuming. For the first one, you can't do the one mint, but I will be in favor of a one mint at some point. Needs to be a good inscription.
Yep, good inscription.
That, the parent of the rune or whatever needs to be a good inscription.
If you etch the seasonal rune, you can keep the parent inscription. You can do whatever
Oh,
you want
that's
with the parent
true.
inscription.
Yeah, that's true. So there's some benefit to being the etcher. And this is not financial advice.
No, this is not financial advice.
And realistically, we are not going to mint any of them, probably.
No, probably not. No.
But, we'll do a costume. It gives us, 4 episodes a year that we can get our costumes ready and endorse the seasonal rune.
Yep. That's 2 months worth of content.
Yeah, when you think about it. Yeah. Because we can have a whole deliberation where we go over them. Yeah.
We're going to probably do 2 episodes. We can do the deliberative episode.
And then the selection.
And then the anointing episode. So it's actually 4 months of content.
So true.
Yeah.
It could be the only thing we do.
Yeah.
So let us know what you think of that. I think it's a good idea. It's just you have to make it happen.
It's really not that hard. I could easily crank it out.
We'll get cranking.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. We should also talk about satscards.
Oh, yeah.
We still haven't talked about satscards
That's
in
right.
the episode.
Look at this beauty right here. This is a Ordinals Sats card. And when you tap it, it goes directly to ordinals.com and it shows you the Bitcoin inscriptions, rare sats, and runes on this Sats card.
Incredible technology.
Yeah, absolutely incredible technology.
Not made by us, made by CoinKite.
Nope, CoinKite. Thank you very much, CoinKite.
Thank you, CoinKite.
Where can you get these Ordinal Sats cards?
Shop.inscribing.com. Some people have already bought them. They probably have received them. At least the first orders have come through.
You did your first batch?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So they've been sent out. So I'm curious to see what people do with them. But yeah, if you want a Sats card, go get them. I don't know if we'll make any more. So
yeah, these could be limited edition
could be
items.
The only ones we ever make. So if you want one or you want several, go get them. I said this on the subspace, alpha on the subspace, also subscribe to How Many Podcast on X to get our secret alpha. But I think you should use them as business cards. I think people, providing that you eventually do galleries, I think someone should make a gallery inscription that has their representative inscriptions on it. Like if you're an artist or you're just like a degen or whatever, you want to show off your collection, you would make a gallery inscription, put it on the Sats card. And then whenever you met someone in person or if you just want to like flex or show off, you would give them the Sats card and then they have that on-chain reference to all the things that you want them to know about.
Yep.
I think that's like the ideal use case for this. Like,
I agree.
For people like me.
Yeah. Also physical treasure hunts. You want to put a valuable inscription on one of these cards. You want to leave it somewhere.
Also, if you have a physical work that also has the digital component, like if you're auctioning off a physical piece and then the person also gets some sort of inscription with it, you could just put it on the Sats card and then it will just you can just give it to them.
Yep.
So yeah, like put it on the back of your painting or something. Ordinal Sats cards, go get them.
Yeah.
They're available now.
Shop.inscribing.com.
Yep. Is that it?
I think that's it.
Oh, we could talk about the Sora AI videos.
Yeah, I mean, I think the AI videos have sort of had their ChatGPT moment.
I agree.
In terms of
is Sora its own company or is it?
No, Sora.
It's OpenAI.
Yeah, Sora is the OpenAI.
Good
video
for them,
generator.
man. They are just dominating.
Yeah, but I've seen some genuinely funny Sora AI videos. Stephen Hawking on the half pipe. Bob Ross painting on somebody's face who had some sort of developmental disability.
I've mostly been seeing Jake Paul. Have you been seeing the Jake Paul ones?
Alhamdulillah, converted to Islam.
Yeah, Jake Paul. I've seen him as like a Hasidic Jew. I've seen him doing makeup tutorials. I've seen him coming out. I don't know what it is about Jake Paul that's so
I think it's
compelling.
Just that the Sora videos are the easiest thing to do is person doing X. That's like the easiest prompt. Think of some person in some unlikely or weird scenario. Or
like a specific type of video that's very recognizable, even if it's not perfect. Like I've seen a lot of like cop. What is it like when cops wear the cameras on
body cam
footage where it's like SpongeBob's getting pulled over.
They're arresting a cat.
Yeah, exactly. That kind of stuff. Because that's like it can be grainy, it can be not high quality, but you know what you're looking at.
Right.
Similar like the WrestleMania videos, it's kind of just like you have to just get, and like I think that's also why makeup tutorials work because there's a lot of fast cuts in makeup tutorials.
Yep.
So it's like doesn't have to be cohesive. You can kind of just like make a bunch of them and then splice them together, and that still works for the format. I mean, I think the ideal seasonal rune would implement some sort of Sora AI technology.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Jake Paul Hasidic Jew rune.
I think that the next iteration, the next bump in quality for AI videos is going to be the like ChatGPT 4 moment where they really start to.
But I think they're already there. I think Sora's kind of there.
Yeah, but I think it's sort of at this like novelty moment where people see the potential, but it's like not quite there. It's like people are interacting with it, people are using it, but they're still like a novelty. There's still these like novelty meme videos. And maybe the next iteration is when we actually see good content.
But what do you mean? Memes are all we have, bro. Like that is the use case.
Yeah, true. Maybe that is the real use case that they've gotten over the hump. They can make memes now.
Like, I kind of, people are always like, oh, they're going to make AI influencers. Like, sure. I mean, that's already happening, right? If you have a physical product that you want to advertise, why would you pay influencers to use your product when you could just have AI influencers fake use your product? Like that seems like an obvious use case. I'm sure that's already happening.
Yeah. Didn't Taylor Swift use Sora for like ads for her album or something? I think she did. I think there were AI ads promoting her album.
She's on it, man.
Yeah.
She's on it. She couldn't be bothered. Yeah, if so, good for her. This is what I'm saying. I have no problem with Taylor being like weird and evil or whatever by like TikTok people standards. Like that's who she is, and I'm okay with that. Yeah, so like, using it, I mean, it's basically ads, I think is like the main thing is you don't want to have to pay for someone to act, film, whatever to produce content. You just want slop for ads anyway. But you also want slop for memes. Slop is funny. Slop can be very high quality content in its own way. So yeah, I don't know. I kind of think we're there. Like, I guess it's like, what is the use case that you see where it's like, oh, if it just got a little bit better, then X?
Replacing, sort of just taking over more of the short form video space.
But that's memes. That's my point.
Yeah, but things like right now, it's a very like the genre of each video is AI generated video. For it to move like beyond that, where it's not like, okay, this is funny because this is AI generated. This is like competing with some of the better short form video. It's not a huge distinction.
I think we're getting close to it. And I think what you're seeing is people are okay with, they want to say AI because it's the meme in and of itself. Like they're like, this isn't real. Haha, isn't it crazy? I can make this. There's like that shock factor, but also because I think people are not sure of the like, I guess, regulatory landscape, for lack of a better word. Like it's like if you make a Jake Paul makeup tutorial, can Jake Paul sue you? I think that's where it's people are afraid of presenting something that's AI as if it's real because they don't know what's going to happen. So maybe we're going to have the like MicroStrategy Bitcoin Treasury company moment for AI where it's like, oh, AI is totally legal. They're never going to come after me. Like AI crime is legal.
AI crime is legal.
So let's go for it and let's just make a bunch of fake content and who cares? I think the main good thing that's coming out of the Sora AI stuff is now you can claim anything as AI. So if there's an unfavorable video of you saying X, Y, or Z, or
the age of objective reality is over.
It's so over. It's never been more over. So I think people complain about that. I don't see how that's anything but a good thing.
Yeah.
Like it's just, I don't know. It already is the case that
we're already pretty post-truth.
Exactly. Like that's the thing. Like we're already in a situation where nothing is real, and the thing that becomes real is just the thing that's the most captivating to people. And so if that's just accepted as the case, I think that lowers the stakes overall for everyone. Where you don't have to be pretending that something is true or real or whatever. You can just be like, it's AI. I never would say something like that. So I'm excited for it. Maybe that's my like, the ideal seasonal rune would probably have really good Sora AI videos that accompany it, whatever that means. And that's up for your interpretation as the seasonal rune etchers.
That's right.
So yeah, get working, get thinking, get scheming.
Good ideas for seasonal runes would make me more likely to actually do seasonal runes. So if you want seasonal runes to happen,
you got to come up with some ideas. But I think you do have to tell them, because you don't want to give away your idea before you etch it.
That's right. Yeah.
So you are going to have to pick a block height, and you're going to have to pick a block height to start, right? Because then they need to be able to etch it before they start doing the Sora AI and like whatever memification. So
I like the idea.
It's on you first.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So let's pick a block height. Not right now, obviously, because we're woefully unprepared for this podcast, but pick a block height, announce seasonal runes, and then people can get to cracking on it. And then maybe we'll all make it.
Yep. All right. Well, I think that's
just about it.
I think that's just about it for the episode. Thanks everybody for joining us. As always, like, subscribe to us on Twitter, join on the subspaces.
We actually do have alpha on there.
And buy some satscards, shop.inscribing.com.
Yep. And stream Taylor's terrible album.
That's right.
And watch the Chiefs game.
I don't know. Yeah.
I don't think they're going to be in the Super Bowl this year. I don't think they're playing very well.
Yeah.
That's what I've heard. I wouldn't know.
Yeah.
But
am I a quarterback?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm a quarterback. Nice.
Is Travis Kelce the quarterback? Guys.
All right. That's it for this episode. Thanks everybody for joining us, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.